So thank you for having me. And I appreciate Francesca's intro. I'm not trying to make people leave their jobs. That's not the goal. It was for me, but so let's see. I was never somebody that grew up knowing what he wanted to do in life. No doctor, no teacher, no accountant, no bus driver, no clue. Like literally no clue. I mean, my father would take me to see big band music. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and you know the intermission, we'd stand, he'd have a cocktail, and we'd just be in the lobby, and he'd say, "Oh, there's like Joe Smith, my friend, and there's Harry, whatever," and I was always saying, well, "What does he do? What does he do? What does he do?" I was hoping to hear something that would catch my ear, and I'd be like, that sounds like an interesting job. I could do that. Well, that didn't work. And when it came time to graduate from high school and go to college, I did exactly what one of my brothers did. I went and took a marketing program, and then I went into advertising because that's what he did, and it seemed like a reasonable thing. It seemed sort of creative, and I felt like maybe I had slight creative leanings. And then I started to get bored with it. I got engaged to my now wife, which makes it sound like there was another wife along the way. That's not what I meant. We've been married a long time. And we moved to Toronto. I worked for an advertising agency that wouldn't hire me in the beginning because I didn't have any experience. And finally I said to them one day, look, we've had 3 interviews. I'd love to be here, and you're telling me I don't have any experience, so let's do this. Hire me for 3 months and don't pay me. At the end of 3 months, if you think I'm useless, you say goodbye. I haven't cost you a cent. But if at the end of 3 months you think I'm useful, then you start paying me. And not only do I know the business, but I know your particular business. I know where the copier is. I know how to get to the client's offices. I know what goes on here. And they said, well, let's think about it. And they took the weekend, they called back, and they said, okay, we're going to hire you. So they hired me without paying me. And at the end of 3 months, they said, this has gone really well. We'd like to hire you now and start paying you. I said, that's very cool. But one of your clients just made me an offer, and I said yes. So I start there on the weekend or next week. So now I was the employee. Now I became the client, and it was great. It was a marketing position in a sporting goods company in Toronto that got sold to a French parent company in Montreal. They wanted me and my wife to move to Montreal, and neither of us speak French. And then this is 30-ish years ago. Not speaking French in Montreal was a bit of a hassle. It really limited what you could do. Anyway, look, I love the French, and I like the real French too. So I said no, and that's how they feel. The real French look down on the French Canadians, and the French Canadians are pissed about it. But so we chose not to go, and I go, now I can do what I've really wanted to do. I want to be in film. Not in front of the camera, I want to be behind the camera. So I got a job as a production assistant at a production company in Toronto. And remember, Toronto is a huge home to tons of movie, film, and television in Canada. Big industry, but it also looks like a bunch of big cities. So you pick Toronto, you pay Canadian wages, the dollars are less up there, the production crews are just as good, and it looks like New York or Detroit or whatever. So I did that. It's just the worst job in the world being a production assistant because it's literally the worst stuff they can think of to make you do. Oh, the actor's dog just took a crap over there. Can you get that? We need some dry cleaning taken in. We need this cable walked 4 miles down the street. Can you do? It's just awful. So I did that. It was not nearly as glamorous as I hoped. And in that time, my advertising brother called up and he says, one of our clients, a place called Penguin's Frozen Yogurt, is doing really well. How do you feel about us going into the frozen yogurt business? I was like, yes, in 2 seconds. And we're going to do it in Phoenix, even more excited. Get out of that horrible, horrible Toronto weather, go to Phoenix, do something new. So I started off marketing, then ended up in an advertising agency, then ended up in the movie thing, And then before I go to frozen yogurt, I quit the movie thing. I deliver pizzas in Toronto for a few months. We go to Phoenix, we open up a Penguins frozen yogurt. It's going great. Some guy that has the rights to Penguins in Tucson wants to buy the Phoenix market. He buys it from us. We kind of just break even, don't really make any money. Now what do? Now I have nothing to do, and I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. So now what? So I did what many people do when they don't know what they want to do. I went into real estate. It's an admirable profession. I hated it, but I did. I got my license in Arizona, and the day I got the license came in the mail, we decided to move to California because we had some family in San Diego. We came here, got my California license. It was much more difficult than Arizona. If you're going to get your license, go to Arizona. It's easier than it is in California. Sold houses for 5 years, couldn't stand a second of it. Hated it. I said to myself, something good will come of this one day, I honestly believe. Finally, I sold the house to a guy who started a biotech company, worked for a biotech company, sold him a house, called me up a couple years later. He goes, I'm starting my own biotech company. Can you help me with a commercial property? I said, yes. I didn't know anything about it, but my manager told me he'd help me. And in that process, he says, look, I like working with you. We get along. This is a good relationship. Come work for the biotech company. I go, what am I going to do? I don't know anything about biotech. He goes, you'll be the director. You'll be the facilities manager. You know, real estate, construction. It'll work out. It'll be fine, blah, blah. So I work for the biotech company. And I love it for like 5 years, and then I start to hate it again. It was the classic Three Bears thing. I could not find anything I was comfortable doing. And this is not rare. I don't know how many of you in this room grew up knowing you wanted to be a geek and work at Google. I mean, when I grew up, there wasn't Google. There weren't geeks. You know, I mean, so, I mean that in the nicest way possible. I didn't just wreck this, did I? Come on, you guys all know it. You can't not work here. And okay, so I go, something good will come of this, right? Now I'm in the biotech company. I can't stand it. And now I'm at home on Sundays with the San Diego Union Help Wanted General section, ad section in front of me. Cup of coffee in one hand, and now I'm going down the columns. Help Wanted General. I'm looking for a career. Help Wanted General. Accounting, advertising, automotive, banking, brake alignment, bookkeeping, candy making, cookie thing, dance instructor, delivery driver. I mean, I could do the whole alphabet. And I was waiting for divine intervention. I imagined one day my finger would hit a job title or description. I'd get a little chill. It would be God talking to me, saying, Sam, this is what you should do, and I'm going to tell you. It didn't happen. It doesn't happen like that. I might as well have been throwing darts against a board with job titles on it. So now I'm sitting in my biotech office one day and I'm mulling over this. I'm very upset. I can't figure this out. I'm miserable. I'm unhappy. And I say to myself, I'm going about this the wrong way. I'm literally trying to take my square peg and cram it into a round hole, and that's not the thing to do. So what if somebody walked in my office door and said to me, okay, you can go do anything you want for a living. No regard for making money, what people thought, providing for your family. What's the thing that you would want to do? Answer it quick, Sam. And my answer instantly was I wanted to go back to Tokyo where I'd been like a year before. My brother-in-law went on business. I went just for my 40th birthday to myself. And I know what you're thinking. He's already past 40? Joke. So I want to go back to Tokyo, and I'm a fairly practical, pragmatic person. So at that moment, I start trying to figure out how to get myself back to Tokyo for a career now, not just a vacay. I could become a pilot or flight attendant, but I don't really like to fly all that much. I get sick on planes, and God knows I don't want to have to be nice to a group of strangers for like 14 hours at a time. And have you seen how people treat flight crew on an airplane? Like, they're basically snapping their fingers and they're rude as F, and it's awful. So I don't want to do that. I could teach English as a second language. I come from Canada. I believe I have a pretty damn good command of the English language. I do speak the Queen's English. But the idea of coming home and saying to my wife and 3 sons, we're moving to Tokyo. We're going to live in 14 square feet. We'll sleep standing up because laying down is overrated. It's going to be great. That wasn't going to work. And literally, that moment, as I'm thinking this, I'm also thinking about a horrible newscast, local newscast I'd seen the night before. I'm like, wait a minute, what if I did like a kind of travel thing? Because when I came back and told people that I'd spent most of my time in Tokyo alone, certainly during the day, my friends were like, I don't know if I could do that, dude. You know, you can't read the language, you don't know what the food is, you can't get the signs, you can't understand. But for me, that was kind of exciting. I thought, maybe I could do that. And within about 15 minutes, I had thunk up a perfect job. I would go to foreign locations, I would shoot some footage, I'd put together like a little travel series, I would come back and I would air 3 or 4 minutes a night on a local news channel. Stay tuned all next week while our travel guy shows you the ins and outs of Tokyo, or Hong Kong, or Bali, or whatever. It was a great idea. I quit my biotech job, say goodbye. See ya, suckers, I'm out of here. I was so excited. Pulled together this little crew, nobody's getting paid, but we're getting a trip to Tokyo and Hong Kong to shoot demo footage. I'd managed to convince the Hong Kong Tourist Board and a hotel association in Japan to sort of underwrite the trip. Nobody gets money, but we get flights and travel and accommodation. It's great. All excited, things are going beautifully. Until a month before we're supposed to go and 9/11 happens. And I always tell this part of the story the exact same way. I say, that day changed thousands of other people's lives much more significantly than it changed mine. But it still changed my life because after September 11th of 2001, nobody was buying a travel show. Nobody was getting on planes. Nobody was buying a travel show, especially from a guy who barely had ever traveled and certainly had never been on television. What was I thinking? Well, I was thinking that I wanted to be happy. That's what I was thinking. So now, September 11th comes and goes. It's literally the week after. I'm sitting now in that same spot on the couch where I'm going through the newspaper, and my wife goes to work and she says, what are you going to do? I go, I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to encourage people to travel, do something they hadn't done, and I liked that idea, but what could I do with that? So one day she goes to work, I'm watching KUSI, and on comes the worst cooking segment I've ever seen in my life. I'm telling you, it was horrific. The chef, who could probably kick my ass all over a kitchen, was as boring as they came, but he didn't need to be exciting. He's in the back cooking food. He's wearing his chef whites. The anchors couldn't pronounce creme fraiche. It was idiotic, it was boring. The camera stayed on this pot of butternut squash soup for like a solid 30 plus seconds. I go, this is awful television. Somebody should do this better. And then bing, there's the light bulb, and I go, crap, I should do this better. My wife comes home that day, I go, I've got it. She goes, what? I go, cooking show. Instead of short travel segments, I'll do short cooking segments. She goes, I think that's a fantastic idea. Just one thing. I go, what? She goes, you can't cook. I go, well, here's the thing. Instead of watching a cooking segment and thinking that looks good and complicated, but now I'm hungry, let's go out, people will watch and go, that looks good and easy. I'll be my own weakest link. I can make that. Now, my wife, in all of this, you have to understand, is the real genius, because in her mind, there was no way that the travel thing was ever going to work. But what it was going to do, it was going to get me out of the biotech company where I was very comfortable. I was safe. It's like I was in my bed in the morning, the covers were around my neck, it was cozy, I didn't want to get out. I needed something. I needed like a life kick in the ass. She knew the travel thing wouldn't work, but then 2-3 months later, there I'd be. Now I'd be forced to find something. So travel goes, cooking comes, she's still thinking the same thing. I call the crew, I go, boys, because it was only men. There would be women today, I promise. I've worked with a lot of really talented women, but it was only guys then. I go, we're not going to Tokyo or Hong Kong, we're going to shoot in my kitchen and make a little cooking thing. We shot, put it together. I'm telling you, you're going to see it. It was my Gone with the Wind, my Godfather. I like that. My Godfather. So we'll watch it, and just know there's a little stutter for those of you in the room. People watching this after the fact will see it fine. So now understand, is Sam the cooking guy before he was really Sam the cooking guy? And I want you to try and notice the mistakes. You'll see the shadow of the camera guy's head on one of my cabinets. There's a shot out the window, and there's a big C-stand that they used to hold equipment that had like tarps and junk on it. And I can't find my whisk in this. The guy says, let's cut that part out. And I go, nah, it feels kind of authentic. We'll leave it. So this is me before me was me. Hi, I'm Sam, the cooking guy. Today we're going to make lemon teriyaki salmon. I call it rainy day salmon because back home we used to make it on rainy days all the time. And it takes no time at all. We start very simply with one pot. We're going to put the following 7 ingredients into it. Soy sauce, half a cup, quarter of a cup of sake. If you don't have this, you should, because it's great to drink and it's excellent to cook with. Third of a cup sugar, teaspoon of minced ginger, clove of garlic, juice of 1 whole lemon, juice going everywhere, a teaspoon of dry mustard. We're done. We're going to put this on the stove for 10 minutes, let it simmer. In that time, we're going to heat the oven, cut our salmon, and we're almost set. Really, it only needs to be there for maybe 10 minutes maximum. You just want it to thicken up a little bit. Grab my whisk. Okay, hang on. I can't find my whisk. Okay, we're not going to use a whisk. You just need to stir it around. All we're going to do now is we're going to baste it. It doesn't get any easier than this, honestly. We're going to pop this under the broiler, 5 minutes on this side, 5 on the other side, and that's it. If you bring this salmon to the table looking like this, people are going to be blown away. I amaze even myself. My mom would be really proud. Rainy day salmon. I'm the cooking guy. I'll see you next time. So look, you know anything else, please don't clap for that. It's like anything. The first time you do it, you're maybe okay at it. The 10th time you get better. It really took me a while to find my voice. Anyway, so
the accent was thicker.
It was thicker, yeah. It was. It's 15 years ago. I might not have said any OU words yet. I'll get there. So we take that demo and I send it out. I managed to put together 5 names of people in the industry. My ultimate goal are local stations. The idea was like make it once and sell it 1,000 times around the country. But I don't want to go to local stations first because if they hate it, they're not going to watch it if I get it fixed, right? By the way, hi, you just came in late. You missed a lot of really good stuff. I'm sorry. Really good stuff. And I've been giving out really good prizes so far. The next person's talk, you might want to come earlier. So I don't want to send it to a local station because if they're not going to watch it a second time if I figured out that it blows. So I send it to outside people. Nobody likes it. One guy from Tribune Media in Chicago actually says, can I swear? I'll just say the letter. He actually said, you don't have an effing chance. But he didn't say effing, he said the whole word. Can you believe that somebody would say that to you? Can you? So I said, all right, now I'm so pissed, now I am going to send it to a couple local stations and see what their reaction is. I sent it to 2 stations in San Diego. Channel 7, the NBC guys, was rejected by a really lovely English woman. And you know, the Brits can make anything sound good. Hello, Mrs. Zien, we got your tape. It's lovely, it's lovely. It's just not right for us at this time. Okay, I feel good, actually. I don't know why I feel good. You know, a doctor could come in, you go in with a pain in your knee. Mrs. Zien, so we had a look at the x-rays. We've got to amputate your head. Oh, okay, do you want to do it now? Or you want me to come back? What's good for your schedule? Right? It's crazy. I also sent it to Channel 6, which then was a Fox station. I get a phone call back a month later from a guy named Alberto Pando, the vice president of programming. He says, so here's the thing. I got your tape. I put it in. I watched it. He goes, I really liked it. He goes, you're kind of like a little odd. What you guys watched, that made me odd. Because you're a little odd, but we'd love to talk with you. So I go in. They put me on TV twice a week doing a 90-second segment on their morning news Monday and Friday. Unbelievable. Here's the first one. Here's the first one. So I go that first day. I'm going to be on at like 10 to 8. The guy comes in about 7:45. I'm in the green room, which they're never green, by the way. And he goes, we got to bump you a little bit. And I go, uh-oh, here it comes. They watched it again. They realize I'm a fake. They're not putting me on. He goes, no, it's, we just need to push you like 10 after. And I think he could see how nervous I was. I mean, honestly, my heart was moving in and out of my sweater. So he took me into the control room where I could see the studio behind me. I could see the big board and all the TVs and stuff they look at. And it calmed me down, and then I went in. So this is me. This is January, February, March, April, May of 2002.
And that's where the cooking guy comes in.
Hi, I'm Sam, the cooking guy. And today we're gonna make a very delicious barbecue chicken pizza. The difference is we're not gonna use this to make it. We're gonna use these. Put your oven, 450 degrees, get it good and hot. I like to start with a 10-ounce Italian crust, bought it from the store. We're gonna take and we're gonna brush barbecue sauce on the crust. Just about, about 2 tablespoons worth of it. On top of that, we're gonna put maybe a 1/4 cup of smoked Gouda cheese. I've got 2 cups of shredded chicken. I bought a deli roasted chicken in the supermarket. You can make your own. This is much easier. I've mixed it with a couple tablespoons of barbecue sauce as well. This is going on top. Spread it around with your hands. Don't be shy. That looks good. Thinly sliced red onion. And don't freak out, the kids like this. My kids love this. Top of that, mozzarella. Put a bunch. The oven's ready, 450. Let's put this on a pan. This is going to go in for about 10 or 12 minutes. Bingo. When it comes out, it's going to be awesome. Okay, it's been 12 minutes exactly. Let's pull our pizza out, see how it looks. See, that's just perfect. Let's put it on here. We're just gonna cut it because that's what you do. You can use one of those pizza wheel cutters, but I just like to use a regular knife. I think the last thing I would do is I would throw just a little fresh chopped cilantro on the top of this. We'll take 1 bite, just so you can say I eat my own food. Maybe we won't take 1 bite. It's awesome. I'm the cooking guy. I'll see you next time.
Very
There
cool.
he is.
We want to welcome Sam, the cooking guy, to the show.
Thank you. All right, so they asked me, where'd you learn to cook? And blah, blah, your mom. I go, my mom is a great cook. I take the tape and I send it to her, with VHS then, send it to her. And she calls me up, I go, hello? She goes, I was a good cook? I go, what? She goes, I watched the tape. You said I was a good cook. I go, no, Mom. I said you're a great cook. She goes, you said I was a good. I'm not arguing with my mother about what I said on TV. So, a year after these segments, we win 2 Emmys. A local Emmy, same statue, but it can't be seen by more than 50% of the country. You win Emmys for 90 seconds of television. It's fantastic. I was like, hey, what? You can win Emmys for a commercial's length of stuff? So then it becomes a half-hour show. By the way, this whole year that I'm doing this, I'm not making a cent. They didn't offer me money. I didn't ask for money. It's not that I'm independently wealthy, but I knew I needed them more than they needed me. They actually kicked a chef, off of their channel to put me in. And I don't think it was because I was free. I think it was because I was different. I wasn't the same. So then it becomes a half-hour show that was produced, shot, edited by Channel 6 and the County Television Network. Shared. After a year, that won 2 Emmys. Like, holy smokes, this Emmy thing is fun. The general manager of Channel 6 at the time takes me in his office. I'm eventually making money. By the time the first year ends, I'm making a couple $100 each time these things air, so like $400 a week. Just excellent. And when the half-hour show, he sits me down and he goes, here's what we're going to pay you the same way. Every time it airs, you're going to get this. First time I get a paycheck after the half-hour show starts airing, there's no half-hour money on it. I call the payroll people and they go, oh, he just needs to tell us, we'll get it going. I call him up, I say, hey, the blah, blah, blah. He goes, I never said that. I go, wait, sorry, we never said what? He goes, I never said I'd pay you for the half-hour shows. Oh, I stood in your office. You were at the flip chart, you did the thing, we had the whole conversation. Al was there. He goes, I never said I would pay you. I go, oh, okay, I hang up the phone. Now I start finding out that this guy, this is this guy's MO. Says one thing, does something else. Pretends to be religious, he's a religious guy. His denomination doesn't matter, but he wore it like a jacket, except he was a piece of you-know-what. Say one thing, do something else. I said, I won't work for this guy anymore. But I know if I walk up to him and say, I'm going to quit in 2 weeks, he's going to say, tell you what, quit now, you're done. And I didn't want to just go quietly tonight and not have people that were following my segments on TV just think that I'd quit. Because social media is 15, 14 years ago wasn't really like it is now. I didn't have a huge following. So I decided I would take myself off the air myself. So one day, it's a Friday, and just as the segment's ending, I'm sitting there talking to the anchors, and I go, guess what, big news? They go, what? I go, next Friday? They go, yeah. I go, it's my last day. By the time I got home, there was an email, don't bother coming back. But at least I got to say, my last day. So now along comes the Discovery Networks to do a show. Would you be interested in doing a show? Of course I would. So we shot something called Just Cook This with Sam the Cooking Guy. And they go, but you know, Discovery Health is the network it will air on. We'd like to do healthy stuff. What would your angle be? Because it's not like you're known for health food. I go, it'd be this. Here's a pizza. Here's lots of cheese and pepperoni, stuff like this. Don't eat the whole thing. The guy laughed. And he bought it, and I had a show. It was kind of that. Until Oprah came along and literally bought the Discovery Health number on the dial everywhere and turned it into the Oprah Winfrey Network own. And I'm not bitter that she had to have her own freaking network and her people felt that my stuff was too male-oriented. But it's not. I mean, I think a lot of guys watch my show, maybe more than generally watch straight cooking shows, but still the predominance of my audience is female. No, they didn't like me, so that's fine. Meanwhile, a publisher comes along and says, would you like to do a cookbook? I'd love to do a cookbook. Cookbook comes out. The first one, there's now 3. They go, we got you a spot on the Today Show. It's fantastic, the Today Show. It's great. I go to the Today Show, it's in New York. It's a big deal. Matt Lauer had not been fingered as a bad guy yet. It was America was so innocent in those days. I do the segment. I'm making chicken enchiladas, white chicken enchiladas. They're on the website. They're in my first cookbook. There's cream and there's cheese. And Hoda Kotb, in the middle of this, as I'm putting cream and cheese in, she goes, uh-oh. I go, oh, what? She goes, there's a lot of something there. A lot of fat and whatever. I go, well, you know, if a recipe says serve 6, it should. Don't eat the whole thing yourself. Second I say that, I said, don't eat the whole frickin' thing yourself. The crew laughs, and I think, oh, is this bad that I've said fricking on the Today Show? Segment ends. I'm walking down the street with my wife. I get a text from the Today Show, 2 important questions. Can you come back in 3 weeks? My wife's like, what? What? I go, they want me back. She goes, they do? I go, thanks for the support. Yeah, they do. She goes, I go, and there's another question. She goes, what? I don't know, it's not important. She goes, what is it? I go, and I read it. She goes, everybody here wants to know where your wife got her boots. So here's the moral. Just when you think it's all about you, it's about your wife's boots. Anyway, I go back. And here's my second time on the Today Show.
We're back with how low can you go and how to make delicious dishes on a budget.
Now, according to Sam Zien, the 4 most common items found in your kitchen cabinets are these: bread, peanut butter, pasta, and tuna. So Sam, who's the author of Sam the Cooking Guy, just a bunch of recipes, is here to show us how to turn cheap staples into new and exciting dishes. And Sam, I know, especially now with the way the economy's going, everyone's trying to figure out how to stretch the dollar, how to make it work.
We got all this stuff at home. You might as well use it. It's, easy stuff, simple, quick little things that you can do, and it's not going to cost you a lot of money. But
New
just
ways to look at old products.
make the same things the same way over
what
and
we're
over.
trying to
That's
say,
what we've been
Sam.
saying.
Right off the bat.
noodles?
Right off the
Noodles.
bat. Look, I use these over here. Come
All
here.
right, let's go. What are we making?
Kathy's
Tuna?
giving me the okay, Sam. So we're
Tuna.
making
Well,
a
I want you to
tuna.
get all of it in
We're
there.
making a tuna.
Tuna's the second thing we have in our
Please,
house.
Can I talk? I watch the show every day. Everybody has issues with a lot of chatter back here. Pay attention 1 minute. Ooh, that seemed
I
to
hope
work.
you enjoy your
I hope you enjoyed your last time at the Today Show. I'm only kidding. I love you. And I've already complimented you on how pretty
I
your
was
dress
lying
is.
about your eyebrows. I think they're shabby.
Right. Okay, onion, I don't even know what I got. Cucumber, tomato, Kalamata olives. We're basically making like a standard Greek salad, right?
Right.
We take some feta cheese. I love to buy the block feta cheese. I can hear the crew back there going, this guy, it's his last day here for sure.
They've been around a long time because they don't
By
talk
the
to
way,
us like that.
can I point... So my editor's with me there. We leave. We go for brunch or breakfast. And there's no talk about that being problematic. He goes, look, just another... Sorry. There's no talk about that being problematic. He just goes, look, that's just another good Today Show appearance. So the Today Show, they send a car to take you back to the airport, and I'm in the car. And my wife, who's in a few hours ahead of me or behind, she's now watched it. And now people are texting her, and she's texting me. Oh my God. I go, what? She goes, I can't believe what they're saying. I go, what are they saying? She goes, they're saying you're a hero. I go, a hero for what? She goes, for telling Kathy Lee Gifford to shut up. I go, I never said shut up. I said, please, can I talk 1 minute? She goes, well, they think you did something great. I go, this can't go well for me. So anyway, that was a Thursday. By Saturday, Sunday, it had been online. It had been watched like 50,000 times. Now it's like at 1.7 million or something like that. I go to Seattle 2 weeks after that, and I get off the plane in Seattle, and there's a text from the Today Show. Hey, we'd like you to come back. I go, great. Can you call? So I call them. They go, that segment was great. And it generated a lot of buzz. We'd like you to come in and kind of address it with them, and we'll have like a coach here to deal with an etiquette coach. So the etiquette coach, that was my third time. It's not been watched very much. It was awkward AF. I'm telling you, Kathy Lee Gifford stood beside me, and in the middle of my talking, so there was this little conversation with the etiquette coach, and then goodbye, and then I'm cooking, and she's standing beside me. She's rubbing my face. She goes, are we making you nervous? She wasn't making me nervous. It's just weird. And then she takes her fingers and puts them underneath my armpit. And she goes, oh, you're sweating. Okay, I had like 2 layers of clothing on. So no, that wouldn't have been possible. B, I'm a Jewish male. We don't sweat. So it was just creepy. It was anyway. I've been there 12 times in total. Every other time, not with them. They've always put me with somebody else. So, but one of the upshots of this is I get a phone call from a producer at the Stern Show one day who says, boy, we just found that clip. So here's just the audio of that.
What's this? A cook telling Kathy Lee to be quiet on today on I gotta
hear that.
Whoever this is a genius. If this is for real, let me hear this. Hey, the cook's name is Sam Zien, Z-I-E-N, Zen, and his website is thecookingguy.com, and he is my hero, and I love this guy, and I think he's a real man. And too bad he had to do the mea culpas back there afterwards. He shouldn't have.
But he still kept it light. He's an entertainer.
That is the greatest single clip. It should be played every day on this show.
Right, my moment on the Stern Show. And by the way, I'm a huge Howard Stern fan. Anybody else? You see, got the new app? Video. It's got video. Yeah, it's great. Anyway. So, Then the publisher comes back. They want 2 more books. We do the books. I mean, look, here's the point of the story for me is really simple. I just wanted to be happy. I say to people, the guy that you see on TV, and hopefully the guy you're seeing now, is the same person. There's no fake. There's not one on-camera persona and then another one. There's just me. If you like me, great, watch the show. If you don't like me, don't watch the show. And honestly, you don't need to send me an email telling me why you don't like me. I don't need that. We have a, getting to be a robust YouTube channel, and with that comes the comments. You're this, you're that, you can't do this, you can't do that. I watched that episode, it sucked. Then I watched that one and it sucked, and then I watched that one and it sucked. Stop watching me, for God's sakes. But the concept of, look, in the beginning, I cut myself a lot, I burned myself a lot because I didn't know what I was doing. It's that 10,000 hours concept. You do something enough, you get to do it well. My 3rd cookbook, I wrote, cooking is like riding a bike. The more you do it, the better you get. The reality is, everything is like riding a bike. The first time we all rode a bike, the same thing happened. We fell off and we hurt ourselves. And a day later, or maybe that afternoon, you finally get up and you can ride a bike. First time you make like a pineapple upside down cake, maybe you burn it. Maybe you followed a recipe to the T, and 350 for 55 minutes in your oven is wrong because your oven's not calibrated. It's really 385. Who knows what their oven temperature is unless you have a little thing that will calibrate. So, what's the point? The point is, when you do something, you should enjoy it because you'll do it better than anybody else. That's true. There's that book, Do What You Love, The Money Will Follow. I say it should be called Do What You Love. You'll be really damn happy. And then maybe the money follows. And if it does, it's a bonus. But literally on the last day on this planet, nobody's going to remember the money. You're going to remember how you feel inside. And that's really all that matters. The last thing I'll show you is my now demo. I wish it didn't stutter, but it's my demo from today. And now after all these years, I found out who I was. That first demo you saw, I had all my food all chopped up, pre-prepped, in little bowls in front of me because that's what cooking shows did in those days. You had all that stuff set. And I didn't know to be myself. I just knew to try and be like everybody else. It took me a while. I finally got it figured out. And now I'm happy. It's me. It works. If you like me, great. If you don't like me, please don't watch. Unless you have one of those boxes that measures, audience watching, and then watch me and then turn it off. But don't email me. Here we go. Hey, I'm Sam the Cooking Guy, and this is about me showing people how to make regular, everyday, but really good food. Look at them going already. A little bit more pepper for color, and that's it. Wow. Man, is that good. Tell me that doesn't look beautiful and pretty and amazing. Look at the colors, insane. You just put that out. And I mean food that anyone can make. Anyone. That's a burger. Look at that. This is a very pretty pizza. Why do I now have to start mixing my own dressing? You can if you want to. I'm here to teach you things that you can do quickly and simply. 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients. We've got the raspberries in here that went in frozen, the cake, the peaches in heavy syrup, a little bit of butter over the top, and that's it. Bingo, we're done. In fact, I call it a reality cooking show. Whatever really happens when we shoot stays in the show. Oh. Hot, really hot. Welcome back to the zoo. What? It's ready for this move? Here we go. Nice. We're gonna take them and we're gonna go. Hi, I'm Rachel Ray, and welcome to 30-Minute Meals. Oh God, whoa. And unlike some other cooking shows, there's no fancy ingredients. In fact, everything comes from a regular, everyday supermarket. So we had this idea. We thought we'd do a whole show about potatoes because everybody likes potatoes, right? Ready bacon, one of my favorite things ever. We did pesto, we did the goat cheese, tomato, the melted mozzarella. This thing, 2 ingredients. Come on, let's get going. And the line that I use, things that are big in taste and small in effort. Come on now. This is crazy good. You have no idea how good these guys smell. Cocoa powder on top. And then the last thing, a little bit more of the powdered sugar that makes the cocoa powder look pretty. It's perfect. We've done a good job here today. And unlike other stand and stir cooking shows, we don't just stay in the kitchen. We get out. We really get out. Today is Sam the Cooking Guy out at sea with the USS Ronald Reagan. Today, we're starting our cool kitchens on the Light Star. It's time for the San Diego County Fair. Today, we're having a ball inside. Let's go. Come on, everybody. Let's not just cook with the coconut oil from Fiji. Let's go to Fiji. And we did. So it only seems right since we're in the Mexican Riviera, we do some Mexican Riviera kind of cocktail. This is my hometown, Vancouver, British Columbia. I love this place. I grew up in this place. I've been watching the food on the Today Show while you've been in Vancouver, and it's been nice, but it was time somebody did this, something that everybody could make. I say this is Canada's culinary gift to the world. And so that's it. Lots of entertainment, great food, tons of fun. I mean, what more do you want out of a cooking show? Why hasn't somebody thought of this already? I have no idea. What? Oh, somebody put the, honey, the Emmys are in the fridge again. My bad, I'm so sorry. Ah, jeez. Right, so that's, that's a bunch of years, but it's being happy and comfortable and really liking what you do. And I get to wake up. I get to do, I don't have a very far commute. It's downstairs. And I get to do all kinds of fun stuff. We've shot 3 shows with the Navy, 2 on aircraft carriers and 1 on a fast attack nuclear sub that we got to spend 24 hours on each one of them. And the Navy is amazing. It's nothing but practice. Get your game down perfect for the moment when you have to be able to do everything without even thinking about it. It's really spectacular. And there's nothing like being on the deck of an aircraft carrier with those things landing right in front of you. It's unbelievable. And the only part that had been sort of ish lacking is the restaurant thing, and I get that question all the time, sorry. And finally, we'll answer it. We're going to open a very small thing this summer in what will become the new Little Italy food hall. There'll be 6 restaurants in there. Mine is called Not Tacos, because they're tacos, but they're not tacos in the sense that they're carnitas or carne asada or pollo or chorizo. Nothing Mexican. There'll be things like Asian salmon and pastrami with crispy onions and melty cheese and coleslaw and over easy egg on top, and that kind of stuff. So that's all I got, really.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions? Questions, guys?
We believe it'll be June 25th, last week of June. But there's 6 places that have to all, kind of be ready. And the project itself, they've closed off Date Street between India and Columbia. It's now a Piazza della Familia, with a giant fountain there. Really beautiful spot, beautiful location. So all the rest of the stuff has got to be done, before health permits and all that stuff happens. But it's looking like it's gonna be a good thing. Yeah, it's fun. Do what you love, the money will follow, or something. Yes, sir. How did I afford daily expenses when I wasn't making any money? Because I didn't. That first year I didn't make anything. The second year I think I made $16,000, which averaged out to $8,000 a year. Okay, I'm going to admit it. I was part of the housing crisis problem, the banking issue. I pulled money out of my house that I wish I still had in my house. But those were the days when you could get a loan from the bank to buy a house with nothing but seemingly nothing. You have a job, you have warm blood, fine. We'll give you a couple $100,000 for a house. That's what I did. My wife worked, and so it's not completely true. So my wife worked, that's true, but I continued to consult for biotech for a couple of years after that. So I made I made money that way. I hated it. I was miserable. You know what struck me as Francesca was walking me around today, and we got to your tap room, and I'm just curious. I go, so there's like limitations, like have all the beer you want, but after 4 o'clock or something. She goes, no, doesn't matter. When I was so I went from being the facilities manager to the director of operations at the biotech company. We were about 125 people. I reported directly to the president, and I go to him one day and I go, got an idea. We had a small campus, 4 buildings, and I go, I'm gonna put a basketball hoop in between the engineering and the whatever biology building, and he looks at me and he goes, well, what's that for? And I go, it's for basketball. And he goes, well, why are you putting it there? I go, because a couple people have asked. I think it's a great thing. You go blow off a little steam. He goes, we're not putting a basketball hoop in. I go, what do you think about this? It's good. He goes, I don't want like that scientist spending all his time playing basketball and not being at the bench working. I said, he doesn't report to you. He has his own boss, the director of chemistry. And think about this. 2 things are going to happen. He spends all his daytime playing basketball. And now we know the guy does nothing. And he gets fired. We're getting rid of terrible deadwood. Or he's working on a really complex chemical reaction. He's having trouble making it come together. He needs to clear his head. Instead of sitting at his desk and looking at chemistry books, he goes outside, he plays hoops for 15 minutes, or a horse by himself, or whatever. It comes to him, he comes inside and he fixes it. And it works. That's success. Either case, it's success. And he goes, oh, okay. We're not putting a basketball hoop anytime while I'm president of this company. That was the day I said I need to leave. I won't work for this guy. It took me 2 years to actually pull the trigger on the whole thing and figure out, because I didn't want to just go to another biotech company. But just look at how far things have come. Honestly, I don't think that guy would do anything different today. He was like that. And he knows how I feel about him. We've talked about this. It's ridiculous. But hopefully you guys are in a good spot, great company, doing things that you really like. And if you don't, then quit and just don't mention my name. I had nothing to do with it. I'll tell you something. You know what? So when I had the idea to do the cooking show, and then I started looking for a kitchen. Remember, I only knew what I saw on TV, so I went looking for a kitchen that looked like a kitchen in a cooking show studio. I think that would have ruined it. So here's what I did. I took my real estate background, and I went to a lot of the real estate offices, and I gave them flyers, the Tony fancy ones, Rancho Santa Fe, Del Mar, Fairbanks Ranch. Do you have a client that would like their kitchen to be featured in a TV show pilot? It wasn't a pilot. It was nothing. It was a dream. Right? It was as close to being a pilot as me dreaming about having kids one day when I was like 18. I'm going to have kids one day. It was that. And I went and I looked at a few kitchens, and there was always something wrong. Too many windows, not too many windows, but ugly countertops, or well, I mean, it was right. So I'm sitting in my kitchen one day, my older kitchen version, writing notes about what I needed to do. And there's a moment I'm thinking, and I look up and I look into my kitchen, I go, the show's for regular people. I don't want a 2,000 square foot kitchen in a Rancho Santa Fe home. I want my kitchen. So that made sense. Cutting myself, leaving that in, when I do that in the show, made sense. I heard that Rachel Ray, one of her first times on her show, 30-Minute Meals, she cut herself. They stopped the tape. They got the blood off. They crazy glued it, which you can do that. It won't hurt you. Crazy glue is great for, I've done it so many times. They crazy glued her finger, put a little makeup on it, rolled the tape back, and then carried on like it didn't happen. Well, if I drop something or burn myself or whatever, that to me is, I said it, reality cooking show. But you have to specify reality because there's a lot of fake reality these days. You're not going to find, 10 white supremacists with a 10 all-black church choir on the same little island that has to live together for 10 days. That's not going to happen. That's not reality. That's made-up stuff that producers force. This is realistic. If my doorbell rings in the middle of the show, I might yell at whoever it is, but we leave that kind of stuff in. And that's what people come up and go, you make me feel like I can cook. Like you've given me license to like screw up and make mistakes. Well, that's what it is. That's what cooking is. Until you start doing it. Don't stay out of a kitchen because you don't think that you can make mistakes. You can. I make them all the time. Big ones too. Lost a piece of the end of my finger once. The crew called it finger halibut for months. It was really good until the end of it, and we're like, oh, I do not know where that piece of finger went. Seriously. It was such a creepy, horrible moment. Good.
Is it still the same crew?
No, it's changed so many times since then. It really has, yeah. But always, the people have been great. And when people have taken the spot of somebody else and they didn't know if they could do that kind of, it's very different television because it's always been one, apart from a very small period of time, it's one camera, which is a bit of a dance that you have to learn. Three cameras here. There are Food Network shows. Tyler Florence had a show, I can't remember what it was called. They shot the same food 3 times. One shot wide, you'd see the whole kitchen and all of him. The second one, you'd see him from like the waist up, and the third one, just his hands. And he'd make that same pasta carbonara 3 times, far, medium, close. And then an editor sits with those 3 separate lines and builds it all together. I don't like that. I like a relationship with one camera. People say, I feel like you're talking to me, and I think that's because of how we shoot. Partially me, because I'm weird at whatever, but partially because it's one camera. I can look right at that camera like I'm talking to somebody. So.
Yeah, it's like the new sitcoms where they do the single cameras like The Office.
Right, exactly, right? That's exactly what it is. It really works for me. I shot an infomercial last February and another one this past February in Tampa, and there were like 6 cameras, and that's a weird thing to get used to. You know, you really have to know which one at which times, and there's a lot of this. That one right now. And you're looking here, and you hear the snapping, and you don't want to take your gaze off, and then, but it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. All right. Oh, I do all the. My wife, when we started, my wife did all the cooking. The only thing I did back in that day when I said I'm going to start a cooking show, the only thing I did was grill, and that's because I'm a guy, and we're supposed to. We pee standing up, and we're supposed to be able to grill too. And I couldn't do things yet. I couldn't grill. I mean, I did it because it was kind of my job. And I would go take a steak out or burger or chicken, ruin it, bring it in, we'd eat it quietly without talking about how much I'd ruined it. And now I most of the time pee sitting down. Too much information, but my grill game has really been elevated. There may be something to this. Let me make a suggestion. That's right. See, I'm as stupid in person as I am on television. 5 years ago, we started a thing called the Sam Livecast, and it was actually live for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half, a couple days a week. And it was great. It was too long. It didn't need to be live. People don't need to be watching live. And we've changed it. It's now an average of 3 to 5 minutes. We had like almost 70,000 subscribers now that have really grown literally in the past couple months. We found a 3 to 5 minute thing that really works, and people like it. Most of those short things, you don't even see the person. It's just like the tasty things, right? The pot from the top down and the hands, and then takes away, comes back cooked, that kind of stuff. So there's more personality in mine. Talk through it. You see me sometimes, but we like it, and people seem to be really liking it. So yeah. And as my son, who shoots most of my stuff now, says, F television. Because Dad, people don't care anymore. It doesn't matter. They want the content. Yeah. Yeah, thanks you guys. Yeah.